Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Waffle Press Movie Hangouts. I'm your host, Diego Crespo. With me today is my co-host, Gina Versa, whose birthday it also is. Happy birthday, Gene.
Hey, thanks. Thank
Woo,
you. It's
happy
good to,
birthday.
Yeah, that was Gene.
yeah,
That
it's
was
just,
Max also. But Gene, what's going on? Let's hear from you first, and then we'll bring back Max because it's Gene's birthday. So it's Gene's episode.
oh, thanks. Yeah, no, I mean, it was very, very funny. We ended up recording today. Yeah, today is my birthday. So it's on a Sunday this year. So yeah, it was very nice. Had some good friends, good pals doing karaoke on Friday. So appreciate you that went. That was Diego as well, many other friends. So really appreciate them. That was really fun. Think you all agree. Had fun.
Yeah,
Very
no.
interesting song choices. They didn't really have a lot of I don't know, not variety, but they had like the weirdest sort of, you know, mixture of stuff, I think.
It was strange because what Gene's referring to is that they had the City Escape song from Sonic Adventure Battle 2. I tweeted that out and I think someone thought like that's a great idea. Like no, that actually happened. That was a thing
Yeah.
that we did. Well, Gene and his friend did. And
Hmm.
the rest of us were half of us were like, "What's the song?" And then the other half, like me, were like, "Fuck yeah!" But then they also
Yeah.
had like the Eminem song from the motion picture Venom.
Yeah. They,
I
Oh my God.
and I did that one. I didn't know the lyrics to that one, but I was like, I feel like I have to do that for Gene's birthday. And seeing the lyrics pop up, that is an insane person song. That was so fun. I had to like
yeah.
I had to keep composing myself because I was laughing so hard. But yeah, that was a great time. Thanks for having that, Gene.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
And then
Yeah, it was
Max is
fun.
here. Max wasn't there though.
No, unfortunately, soon enough.
Soon,
Yeah.
yes, yes, soon. The crossover
Soon.
will occur again in live action because we had our crossover last year, but now it's like the ensemble crossover. Uh, we had our Spider-Man team up, our summer annual team up, and then now we're hopping over to the Avengers and when you come around here. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more of a Justice League guy. I'm sorry, I
okay,
gotta
well
be
I no look
upfront.
okay. I don't know if you know this. I even though Spider-Man is my favorite, obviously, like I'm actually more of a DC guy too, by like a pretty significant margin. I just
Mm,
I just started with the Spider-Man one. That's
No,
on
it's
me.
fine.
Yeah, we did Brave and the Bold last year,
Hmm.
right? The Brave and the
Yeah.
Bold crossovers, and now we're gonna do the Justice League or Justice
Hmm.
Friends. So
Yeah.
that's coming up this winter.
Yeah. Um,
We're not here to talk about superhero stuff though. We're here to talk about real heroes like Jeremy Saulnier, who is a really really good filmmaker. Um, and I think and I mean this as a positive. I think he's just getting started. It feels like. Um, but Gene, as the birthday boy, let's start with
Hmm.
you. What's your history with Jeremy Saulnier? Because we're here to talk about Rebel Ridge, and we're just going to talk like about the movie in whole. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. So you can't complain about like I didn't know that happened in the movie. Like why'd you spoil that? Well, go watch it and then come
Yeah.
back and listen to us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the probably the first movie I saw of his was Green Room, which had Patrick Stewart and late Anton Yelchin and Jim Poots. It's great. And yeah, I went back to his movie before that, which was Boo Ruin, but I really enjoyed Green Room. That's one of the best films that I saw that year, 2016. And yeah, I think he has like good taste. Even movies where I didn't really like what was the movie he did before this one?
Into the
Hold
Dark
the dark.
Into the
or
Dark.
Hold the Dark, Hold the Dark.
Hold the
Excuse me.
Dark,
Oops,
yeah.
it's not
Even
a
some of
thing.
those, which I don't know, I didn't enjoy that one as much. I still think it's really well made. So yeah, I think he's like a really brilliant filmmaker. Check him out for sure.
Yeah. Max, your history.
So I came to him, I think, a bit late, and I say a bit late. But it was probably around the time of Hold the Dark. Um, I saw that, and I heard about Green Room, so I think I watched Green Room around the same time I watched Hold the Dark. And I think my thought process was I liked Green Room. I understood its brutality, but I kind of haven't thought about it since. I think other outside the box cutter scene. Um, and then Hold the Dark, really well crafted, but like I didn't I didn't jive with it. maybe that holds up better on rewatch. And then I haven't
Mm,
seen Blue Ruin yet. I actually asked Dad to throw that up on Plex, and I
mm.
meant to watch it prior to Rebel Ridge, but didn't get a chance to. But I mean, the premise for this and that trailer is just like sold. Let's do it. So yeah, that was an experience watching that last night. It needed that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the trailer for this kicked ass. Just a little bit of my history. So I remember Blue Ruin coming up in like the film nerd like web pages and stuff like that. Like this is the Badass Digest days when people were like, got to keep an eye on this Jeremy Saulnier guy because this thing just killed at Fantastic Fest, And I was like, what is that? Also, what's Fantastic Fest? Like literally
Yeah.
like just over a decade ago, probably because that movie came out like 2013, right?
I think
And so
2014.
okay.
Uh,
So yeah, a decade ago. And I was like, oh, okay, what's this guy's deal? And then eventually see that and I'm like, hey, that was like a really good movie. Like,
you were right. Sorry, 2013.
aha, liar. No, yeah, but it was really impressive. And then yeah, obviously I see Green Room when that comes out too, and it's like, holy shit, that movie fucking rips. I really, really love that movie. That I think that is also one of the best movies that was released this year. I think Blue Ruin was one of the best movies that came out that year, 2013 as well. Even though I didn't see it immediately when it came out, I saw it later. Um, and then I saw Hold the Dark, and yeah, it seems that that's the one where everyone's like, okay, it's like you did good, but like I don't, I don't know, I don't think
Mm,
that one was quite it. But he's still obviously very talented. Like it's not poorly made. It's just like I think that's a good example of like, okay, it's well made, it's well packaged, but like to what end? Like
yeah.
they're doing this whole thing about grizzled men and the harshness of nature, and it's like, no, we get it. I like it when Jack London did that. Not that Jack London
Hmm.
only did that, but um, yeah. So whatever. And then I eventually saw Murder Party, which I didn't see off the bat. And that's his first movie. They made it for like a couple $100,000, and it's definitely a movie made by like art students, and I do have a big soft spot for that, and you can see like they got whatever was at their disposal and they just made a really scrappy like independent um like horror comedy. And it's not like a home run. It's definitely not like Evil Dead, like the first Evil Dead where you're just like, holy shit, give these guys whatever they want. It's like, yeah, these guys got ideas, like keep them coming, like let's see what they got. And uh, so I admire that one, and it's genuinely inspiring to me that he goes from Murder Party like almost 20 years ago now. 20 years next year, I think, maybe. I don't know, maybe less,
Two
but
years from now, it's
Hmm.
2007.
God, okay, that's okay. Well, still a while. It's decades, right? To making Rebel Ridge, which is arguably the best movie I've seen all year. Is I mean, it's like I asked people for like to crowdsource like responses on Twitter. And
Hmm.
because I tweeted it super late last night. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get any traction or whatever. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. And then I was gonna tweet out this morning if no one responded, like, you don't have to respond actually, because we all know this movie just fucking rips. Like no one saw this and was like, it was okay. It's like that fucking kicks so much goddamn ass. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I mean, it would be a bummer if one of you right now was like, actually, I didn't like it. But
Hmm.
to toss it over back to the birthday boy, Gene,
Hmm.
did you think it was boring?
No, no, it really gripped me from the start to the finish. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, Max.
Yeah. I mean, look, speaking as the black guy on the podcast, its hook was immediate because of a black guy gets dogged by police and decides to turn the tables on them, and you know he does, technically speaking, he does do everything right. I mean, obviously, be it's not that he does everything right. He does his best to keep it cordial until they decide, until he's like, all right, I got it. You don't want to be cordial? We don't have to be cordial. I'm gonna just fuck you up.
Hmm.
And
Really, yeah.
so the hook is very immediate and obviously very contemporary. Um, and I think the trailer probably oversold how much of an action movie it was. But I mean, when it does get to the beat downs, like
Hmm.
they rock. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it had me immediately, and then I was very much on the edge of my couch for like for most of the film. Um, excuse me, that tension was very palpable.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah. Just like some of the sequences or the plot that really, it's really gripping you or what's going to happen next. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the obviously police being racist assholes, like that is a very real thing in the real world.
Mhm.
But I guess like the whatever the thing is called that the cops are doing, like the civil forfeiture.
Civil forfeiture. Yeah.
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 Like which like it's fucked up that that's like real, you know?
Yeah. It
I
doesn't
think
surprise
John
me.
Oliver had a whole segment on it. And it was like, Jesus Christ, he has a he had a whole hour long segment on it. And yeah, that's a real thing. Just
I like
insanity.
that John Oliver. He's a good egg, he seems like. But yeah, like the fact that that's like it's such an easy way to get audiences on board with like the narrative of this movie. It's like, yeah, of course it's fucked up. Of course you want to see these guys get fucked up and like and you know kind of get taken to task for what they're doing. And yeah, I didn't know initially that it was gonna be someone called it non-lethal reacher.
Mhm.
Um, I'll find the critic who called it that, but I really like that because that's kind of a perfect way of doing it. You know, it's totally like the first season of Reacher is kind of a little like structurally similar to this. Like Drifter wanders into town, cleans up the town basically. But so I don't want to get into like the I guess we'll call it a criticism of this movie, but I don't want to get into
Hmm.
that yet. But I'll
Yeah.
just say if you wanted to see a bunch of crooked cops get fucked up and like not stand up afterwards, go
Yeah.
watch Reacher because that happens so often at the end of that first season, like spoiler alert, you're like, wow, you have like two people left. Like everyone else is dead. You killed all of them. There's like maybe two police officers left,
Hmm.
and one of them's leaving. So that's if you're looking for that vibe, go watch Reacher, which is a
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
show. The critic was Matt Lynch, by the way, who called it non-lethal Reacher,
Mm.
which I definitely
And
agree with.
I do actually think it's worth bringing up the criticism because, and maybe we can get more into it when we get towards the end, talking about the end of the film. But I've seen a lot of people pop up saying that it kind of just ends and it leaves you feeling like that's it,
Hmm.
or like it's sort of cop apologia, or it's siding with institutions. And I don't get that from it at all. But Mutual and friend and film critic Vice Victus, I mean, I feel like he had the perfect response. It's like he tweeted "Get out," the ending of "Get Out," and it's like if there's no room for like this sort of imagination, then what are we doing here? And so I think there's a lot of I think it can that the ending of it can be dissected, but I think bigger than that, it's just like let this fantasy sort of exist because if you wanted to, I guess, go on, well, then I guess the truth of the matter is he wouldn't have probably made it as far as he did throughout the film, realistically speaking. Um, but um, but yeah, no, I mean, I think it's like you said, probably the one of the best films, if not the best film of the year. It's like perfectly taut, intense throughout the whole thing, and then when it's time for stuff to go off, like it goes off. Um, the scene that I've been seen shared a lot is the pace scene, and he's explaining what pace is, and then there's that cut right as he gets to E. He's like, you know what E stands for, and then she says, martial arts combat, and it's like, oh, and then he grabs the gun. He's like, let's not do that. Like, it's like, fuck him up, fuck him
Hmm.
up, and you know, it also kind of features not it's not necessarily a favorite trope, but like these cops, they are not out and out racist, but you know full well that they definitely say like hard R and whatnot behind their backs. And so it's like Matthew, the guy who played Eobard Thwayne on The Flash, he was the villain in the 95 Zorro, 99 Zorro. Um, do you remember the
Oh,
white
was
guy?
it?
Yeah, he was the
Let
Confederate
me
guy
find
working
out.
with the point is
Yeah,
him in that film,
Matt
you could
Lesher. Sorry, Matt
Matt Lester,
Lesher.
Yeah.
that's his name. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good
You
actor.
could tell his character in that was like super racist, but like he never shows it, but like he's racist. And he definitely says some shit. Kill him, get rid of him. And so
Yeah.
I think the cops are like perfect scumbags in this because
Mhm.
they're not racist, but like they totally are. They're like, yeah, get him, get him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was that one guy who brings up like a lynching comment, like we're gonna string him up, and it's like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Oh shit. Okay.
yeah. And then
I think I saw somebody say that was supposed to be what's his name from Empty Man, James Badge Dale, and apparently
Mm.
he was in the film, but then he had to bow out after the reshoots, so they replaced him. Which I'm kind of glad if that is the case that he was replaced because the guy they had replaced him was like a piece of shit. He
yeah.
has the most punchable face throughout the whole film.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey, James Badge Dale is so great, whether
Yeah.
he's like a protagonist who's uh um like really scrappy, like in The Empty Man, or
Hmm.
just an awful henchman like in Iron Man 3. Like he's terrific. I think he would
Yeah.
have killed it. And but not that this movie is low on like antagonists because it's the entire police force basically. But if he wanted to pop up in there as like because there's a couple primary ones, if he wanted to pop in as another one, I would have been very happy with that because he's terrific. But yeah, that comment about the hanging is then like kind of de-escalated or attempt to be de-escalated by the sole black officer on the force, the lady cop. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, but she was really great. Um, I don't
Yeah.
know that actress,
Officer
but
Jessica Sims. Her name
yes,
is Sane
Yeah.
Yay. I don't have a Wikipedia page for her, but I'm guessing this is one of her first films.
okay,
She was
yeah,
she
yeah,
was
she's
very
good.
she was an interesting character.
Yeah.
Enjoyed her arc. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, where you think like, oh, okay, obviously she's gonna be like the other one good cop in the force, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
like
I like
not
that she gets
really.
yeah. I
Right.
I really
Yeah.
like that they give her that um they play with that expectation where he's like, hey, here's the thing, like he recognizes in her that you're not necessarily one of the good ones, but like you're I understand where you're coming from. But then she turns the tables on and you're like, ah shit. But then she realizes her situation. And so she gets a really kind of good mini character arc in the span of like 10 minutes and you totally buy it.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's really interesting. Yeah. Her character was, yeah. It's good, like a lot of nuance too.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you if you think Frank Serpico liked the movie.
You know what? I'll tweet at him at my favorite
Yeah.
Twitter mutual right now.
You
Be like,
say,
if
nice shirt.
Mr. Serpico, he told me to call him just Frank, which is not acceptable to me. But I'll be like, hey, did you like this? I think you would like this movie. They
Yeah.
reference you directly. Um, yeah, and to talk about like the whole like cop apology or something like that's crazy to me. Like I can understand being like, look, maybe we need more of like a definitive like ending or something that goes an extra step in regards to like the fight with the police force. I
Hmm.
think calling it a cop apologia is absurd because institutions
Yep.
are not like they're not sentient beings. They are upheld by people, bad people, for the purposes of maintaining power and subjugating other people, and very often entire races of people, right? And so if you have like this is getting like very political, so I apologize, except I don't really apologize. Um, so if you have all these people in this institution, right, in a film format, I think it's more than acceptable that certain people could make the choice to be better, right? Especially for a film like this. Sometimes there are films where you want them to have a hard-hitting ending, be like Chinatown, one of my favorite movies, which is just a fucking huge bummer of an ending, where it's like, power perseveres and shit like that, and the rapist director flees countries or whatever, and Roman Polanski, it's on site, bitch. But sometimes movies like that work because of the cynicism, the nihilism of it, where it's like, fuck, you gotta like really think about like the world around you a little bit more. Rebel Ridge, not that it's like just a straight crowd pleaser, it's obviously got so much on its mind. Look at what we're talking about. Uh, but I do think movies like this, like audiences do deserve a victory. If not in the real world, then that's what these can be for, right? And this like manufactured victory, because that's what it is. Doesn't mean it's any less powerful. It's real because you felt it, right? That like who's to say that can't inspire people to be better? That's
Hmm.
not me doing cop apologia. I'm not saying for the police. I'm saying for normal human beings. You
Yeah.
know?
And they also, within the text of the film, they straight up say that the force was that police department. They did get in trouble, and everybody knew about it. The problem was they got in trouble, but then they didn't like fix the problem. And so I feel like when people are saying like it kind of sides with the institution, I don't think that's true, because if anything, it just proves that they're just going to get in trouble again. And if any, and also I think the implication is it might also just bankrupt that town, like actually this time because of what happened.
Hmm.
Um, so if anything, maybe it's a bit darker in terms of what it means for that town and the people living there. But they clearly established that that is not their first, second, or third or last offense. And so and you can tell it even then, because after she crashes Don Johnson's truck, and she's
Hmm.
got him at gunpoint saying, "Hey, medical's on the way," but she's also arrested him. Like you can tell he knows he's fucked. They all know
Mhm.
they're fucked. So like I don't. For me, I just don't understand what more could you want. That he has the videotape when he sits in the hospital. Don Johnson's definitely going to jail.
Hmm.
It's all there outside of them doing an epilogue where they walk around 6 months later. Yeah, we did a
Yeah.
good thing. You
Yeah.
want to join the Reacher Initiative? No, I'm kidding.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's I'm waiting for that poster that Vice is gonna cook up for all the righteous defenders of
Righteous
American
event.
civil liberties.
Yeah, his posters are great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
And
those posters.
I think, oh yeah, those posters are the best. I got to get one of the big bad ones, or not the A4E ones on their
Hmm.
Redbubble. Shout out
Yeah.
A4E and Redbubble. Stay tuned for the Waffle Press. Um, I think specifically stuff like the idea that like these guys like I don't know what else people want for the ending, I guess. That's all I'll just jump to.
Hmm.
Like I think it's perfectly acceptable for the movie to end where it does, and I think it's actually good. I think you're right, Max, where it's like what else do you need from that story? Like it's not the type of movie or narrative I think that suddenly becomes better because you see uh Aaron Pierre and Anna Sophia Robb like at a cookout together, like flash forward a year later or whatever, like, and they're like
Yeah.
enjoying each other's company and finally hooking up because that's obviously what was going to happen there. Um, and then she gets her kid back or something. Like you can infer these things that through this journey they became better people, right? And have like proved themselves not to the eyes of the world, but to themselves, right? It's like that journey is theirs. Our time with them is done now. Like I don't think you need that kind of button on a movie like this, like you talk about
It's
a little
also
bit of
not within Saulnier's filmography. It's just his style either. He doesn't really do those sort of nice buttons.
yeah, I mean talk a little bit about my own writing stuff. I had this great professor at Cal State Long Beach who I broke down this really tight paced like 90-minute movie to him and it's still I'm still working it up and stuff like that, but like he really liked it and he's one of the ones who kept pushing me to keep going with that. And he rightfully recognized that like this story, like I don't know if you need to go that far to tie it up. I think you can end it over here and people can start catching their breath. And he was right. I totally think he was right. Sometimes people want movies to address like so many things. It's like it's a movie, you know? It's
Yeah.
fine if it doesn't
And it's
address
definitely
everything
about,
about life.
yeah, and it's about the issues, but it's not like an issue movie.
Hmm.
It's all there. And I guess if people really wanted quote unquote satisfaction, I could see them, maybe he doesn't break the random police officer's arm, but he breaks the super racist guy's arm, just to rub that in. But it's like, okay, but like he still breaks somebody's arm in fucking
Yeah.
brutal fashion. Like, gee, that
Yeah.
man's arm is never working again. Good God. Oh, Jesus. Um, But yeah, Don Johnson, what a piece of shit. Oh, that monologue about pace. I'm sorry, just to go back to that scene, and he's
No, it's
just
Yeah,
sick.
it
like,
Yeah,
was
I get it.
and he's
low
and he's
pace. Yeah.
like, and there it is, that grin, like you just ate shit, and Johnson, then he's just like, oh, did I fuck up? Oh shit, he's too. Oh no, let's go. Just he's doing a lot with just like this. Fuck. Great scene. I mean, I one of many highlights in the film. Also him taking a bunch of non-lethal rounds to the chest and leg, and still able to move around like a 60-year-old man is
Yeah.
definitely walking around. If that. Um, but yeah, no, that yeah, great, fantastic scene. And you know what? Just to just even go more off of that, just Aaron Pierre, mid-size sedan. Um, what a movie star performance! Like, I'm sorry, dog. I didn't know you had that in you. Like, I can
Yeah.
see the jump from old to this because he was maybe quietly one of the best parts of old, the funniest characters at the very
Hmm.
least. But holy shit, this is like busting down the door and like, yo, look at me. And Saulnier knows how to like just make him. He gives him all the best lines. I couldn't keep count of all his one-liners. Sorry, I'll let you guys talk. But Jesus, just
Yeah, no, sorry.
a fantastic performance, lead performance from the year. Like, good God.
Yeah, no, no, really, Gene, what'd you think?
No, I enjoyed him. I was reading how it's supposed to be John Boyega in the original version, and yeah, I don't know. I think Pierre. Yeah, I can't see anyone playing this character besides him. Yeah, even though I enjoy John Boyega.
Yeah, Boyega's a great actor, and I remember when he was announced for this, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's awesome." What's that gonna look like? It's like, well, we'll never know now. But yeah,
Yeah, we'll never
Aaron
know.
Pierre, yeah, this is movie star shit right here. Like this is his announcement, I think.
Yeah.
Now, if there's any justice in the world, this
Yeah,
will be his movie star making performance, and not, hey, why hasn't anyone picked up the ball and ran with that guy yet? Because that happens sometimes. Did you guys
And
ever see the first Purge?
I have not.
Okay.
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But that stairwell fight scene, Gene,
Hmm.
that's that is like an action star announcement scene.
Yeah.
And they just they no one's taken advantage of that yet, which is a damn shame. Um, but yeah, Aaron Pierre is so fucking good in this.
And I
And
do weep for Biega because I know that it was not really resolved why he went off set. Um, but at least like on one hand, I'm upset that he didn't do it because I can actually see Boyega crushing this role. Like this, he would have ate. But also, I'm kind of really glad that Pierre was able to get this opportunity because on top of him, just crushing it, like it's like you're distractingly handsome. Like I kind of hate this. That's not to say Boyega isn't, but like Pierre has like some beautiful green eyes, like geez, or blue eyes. I don't know, but like that is a handsome man. So it's like,
yeah.
all right, break, 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 break.
Yeah, I mean the silver lining is that Pierre gets this chance to become a
Yeah.
movie star potentially. And he kills. I guess I would also say like yeah, Don Johnson, terrific. Anna Sophia Robb, who I've been a fan of basically since we're like the same age, so like
Hmm.
basically since she started acting.
Yeah.
Who
She's in
hasn't done a lot of
Bridge.
high profile stuff yet. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gene's favorite movie, Bridge to Terabithia.
Such
Um,
a
That's the
Whiplash.
2005 one.
I know, I think
yeah,
it's like 2006 or 7, but
2007.
My
Whiplash,
my fun
Whiplash,
fact for
Indian.
that is
Mm.
in fifth grade we were supposed to go see that for a book report, and our teacher bought tickets and everything. And so I rolled up to the theater, and he's like, "All right, Max, you coming to come see Bridge?" I'm like, "No, I'm with my dad. We're gonna go see Ghost Rider." And to this day, I still have not seen Oh Five Bridge Tear. We did watch the
Oh,
original. I was
it's
just like, "Oh, I don't need to
traumatic.
know that she." Yeah, I don't need to see her die. I'm good. I'm gonna go
Well,
watch
you
Ghost
don't see her
Rider.
die, it just happens off screen.
Yeah, I was like,
It's just a little heavy,
yeah.
and no one's prepared for that. But that happens sometimes. Much like when I saw the Greta Gerwig adaptation of Little Women, I was like, "This is a wonderful movie," and I didn't know the younger sister character exits the picture abruptly, so it caught me off guard. It happens, is what I'm saying. It just happens to all of us sometimes.
Hmm.
Don't need to get emotional about that. But yeah,
Yeah.
Anna Sophia Robb is great. Um, she doesn't get to throw down, but she throws down the law.
The law, yeah.
She's
Public
working to be a
defender.
lawyer. which is lots of
Yeah.
fun. And she gets to share some screen time with the great James Cromwell, who I did not know was in this movie,
Hmm.
and he's really, really great. Um, I want to just mention something really quick about him because he's one of my favorite actors. I love him. He's great. He's basically his character from Succession, if you've seen that show.
Hmm.
Um, like probably less stern, but
Yeah.
like, as much of an activist and like social justice discusser as that character. Um, but the way they shoot him, and like maybe there's probably other examples of Saulnier's direction in this movie that are going to be just as talked about. But I love the way they shoot James Cromwell because he's literally like out of focus in the background when he's not introduced. He's just
Yeah,
talking to Anne Sophia Robb. That is
yeah, and I
like,
thought for a moment, like, is that him? That sounds like it. And then
Hmm.
later I was like, oh, that is him. Okay.
yeah, and it's like, whoa, the lack of ego you need to have as an artist for him and Jeremy Saulnier, like to be able to introduce a character like that, basically, who's James fucking Cromwell, and not have to worry about like second unit coverage. Like, well, we need a scene of him walking across, people can see that it's him. Like, no, you don't. You need what's sufficient for the story. You know,
Hmm.
what are the images that are going to inform the reaction the audience is supposed to have? Everything's fucking coverage on this shit now. So it's so great to see a movie directed where it's like, okay, he's not that essential to the narrative yet, but he's gonna be. So he's kind of in the background. Who's his relationship going to be with primarily? Anne Sophia Robb. Okay, great. Next scene, he's in a position of power now. He's in the medium wide close up. Uh, or no, he's in a wide at the table, talking down to her, and it's like, okay, this now we see the relationship dynamic changes. So the last scene in the movie, it's all medium close ups, and it's just like, I don't know, it's so well directed. Even this
Yeah.
like supporting character gets this whole like visual arc in the movie, so we understand why he's positioned in the movie, where he's positioned in the narrative, and it's so fucking effective. I was losing my mind, and it's not even the top 10 best things in the movie. It's so good. God damn it. These are goddamn professionals here. Fucking I was gonna start naming names, but I'm not gonna. I want to be chill. I'm here to praise a great film.
Yeah.
It was so good to see. I just wanted to shout out all that stuff. I'm definitely gonna watch this again to look out for more stuff like that. There's little like visual like classic tricks like when the characters are like in conflict, obviously in singles, right? Like shot reverse shot, and then
Hmm.
there's a lot of like two shots when it's like, okay, they're at least trying to come to terms, or the characters have now forged an alliance. Stuff like that. It's just like, okay, pretty standard stuff, but it's not just coverage. It's they're actually shooting the movie.
Yeah.
And so I got a real kick out of that. This is a wonderfully made movie with really, really great written material and uh fucking incredible cast. Oh, last person then I want to talk back to Gene too that I want to
Yeah.
shout
Yeah.
out. Um his name is Emery Cohen. He's been acting for like 10 years. He I think most people might remember him from The Place Beyond the Pines.
Hmm.
He is the son of the Bradley Cooper character in that movie. And he pops up and stuff like The Bike Riders, Brooklyn, one of the more underrated movies of last decade, I think. Um, and he's basically like a real sweetheart in Brooklyn, and he's the opposite of that here. He's probably the worst guy in the movie, frankly.
Is he? Is he the main
He's
like
that
bully
guy,
guy?
yeah.
I
He's
thought
the
it was.
guy.
I thought it was David Denham, Dinman.
David Denman. And I thought it was Denham too. Oh fuck,
Yeah.
I've been pronouncing that man's name wrong since I saw The Office. David Denman, who is Roy in The Office, who he does basically start. He causes the inciting incident of the movie. So not a good guy either, and I don't think the movie lets him off the hook either. It's just like
No.
he realized they were all in over their heads, and that's why he's the guy. He's Serpico in the movie. Um, but yeah, Emery Cohen is a real piece of shit in this, and what a good actor. I hope he keeps popping up and stuff too.
Yeah.
Mm.
He was awesome.
Gene, how'd you feel about Roy being a dickbag in this movie?
Oh, well, I mean, he played it so well in the office. Well, for the first couple seasons for Roy, but yeah. No, I thought, yeah, he was yeah, thought it was, you did a really good job. Just real active performances. Yeah, played it very sublimely of just Dick Cop again.
Yeah, and
Great piece of shit.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe secretly one of the great character actors. We just kind of haven't,
Hmm.
you know, he hasn't been really called out as such, but he's very good. I think the last thing I saw him in was like Brightburn. He's been
Mhm.
in other stuff since then. He was in The Equalizer 3, which I have not seen, but
You
according
still
to
haven't seen
Letterboxd, he was
it?
in it.
What?
No, yeah, sorry.
No. No love
Sorry.
for Uncle for Jason Voorhees, Uncle Denzel.
I know. I love Denzel. I gotta watch it. I gotta. I know. So I liked the second Equalizer quite a bit. Which is I don't always vibe with that director
That's
unless
fair.
he's making Shooter, which is brain dead liberal masterpiece.
Hmm.
It's or not liberal, I guess libertarian.
Yeah,
And it's a
very libertarian,
libertarian masterpiece.
very libertarian.
Yeah, it's so if you want to see like a movie that's so fucking stupid, but also one of the funniest things ever, watch Shooter. It's so awesome. Marky Mark has a not a mullet. He's got a rat tail in the beginning of the
Oh,
movie.
what?
Yeah. Um,
Sounds something he would do.
yeah, he might just do that in real life, but yeah. What a trip
They
that
prayed
movie
up.
is. Say he's prayed up and he's fighting against people that did not stay prayed up. Um, let's see. What else? Let me pull up some tweets. Anything else you guys want to mention about Rebel Ridge?
I
No,
think I'm
just
pretty good now.
yeah. I mean, it's really good. Yeah, definitely one of the best of the year. Um, and yeah, I'm hoping A4E we get to cover it if within the next week or so because I know Vice definitely has thoughts.
Yeah, he had some funny tweets about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna read out some tweets that we got. Just follow Vice Victus on Twitter. Check out his stuff on Rebel Ridge. Um, it's great, and yeah, I don't think there's been a more anticipated A4E episode than Vice talking about Rebel Ridge now, like in a long time. Like there's always some touchstones of like, okay, we're looking forward to them talking about the Matrix Resurrections.
Yeah.
Even though Liam is wrong. Shout out Liam, who is off making what I'm sure is another fucking banger. So whatever, it happens. But yeah, it's like now it's like Rebel Ridge, like waiting, and we will be patient. Richard Newby, friend and fellow guest on the show, subverts expectations in the coolest ways. What hits harder than bloody vengeance? The non-lethal destabilization of corrupt systems that doesn't rely on the contribution of more dead bodies of the disenfranchised for revolution, baby. That's like the best summation of the movie I've ever heard. Like that is much better than me rambling and trying to find words to string together in a coherent sentence. Um, yeah, I mean, let's talk about that for a second. I do think it's more like thoughtful about that. Like Jeremy Saulnier mentioned wanting to write a movie where he didn't want to just kill everyone the whole time, and he like
Mhm.
challenged himself to do that. So like that is the precipice of that, but it's not like an accident that he doesn't go around killing people. Like it's already gonna be like if we're like the movie ends where it does, and we're all like we've all not just accepted that, but like are kind of in defense of that on this podcast. It seems like, but um, if you want to just exploring that like logistically, like yeah, it's probably gonna look better that this guy brought down the force and these guys without killing anybody because he's a black veteran and you know the poisons of these institutions would they would drop a fucking anvil on him even though he's in the right
Yeah.
to defend
And
himself.
it's just not that movie at all because if he really was going to start killing them, he probably would have started right after his cousin was killed. Realistically speaking,
Yeah.
realistically, but like it's just not that movie. He purposely holds back restraint, and I think that is also fitting with this character as well because they mention the police mentioned that he wasn't deployed, so I think you can probably draw a line where he probably hasn't killed anybody. Um,
Mhm.
and so again, I think that fits better than as much as it would be very cathartic to see him do that. Um, it works better that he doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like yeah, it's also I think his character has like a lot of integrity or just wouldn't want to kill anyone, even if like they are corrupt, because it's just not him. Yeah.
Yeah. Darn that Dave, fellow podcaster and pal, loved it. Gutsy, non-lethal dude should be a star. Yes. That's one of the big takeaways. Everyone immediately is just like, oh yeah, this dude, he's the shit. Aaron
Yeah.
Pierre is the fucking shit in this movie. Um, Rob from the Lion Den, easily my number one of the year. Just a perfect picture of tension and high caliber performances in a modern day Breaker. Breaker meets a version of On Deadly Ground that's made by a great filmmaker and not an egotistical asshole who'd suck his own dick if it was long enough. So I don't know specifically to what Rob is referring to, but I love it. I
Yeah.
love when people talk a little shit like that. If you guys know what he's referring to, please let
I
me know.
don't. I
Okay.
No.
don't.
I mean Breaker and on Deadly Ground, I know, but the maybe he's
Do
referring
one
to
of those
those.
stars Seagal?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Let me
maybe that's
check.
why.
There you go. Yeah.
Maybe that's
Okay.
what he's getting to.
Okay, yeah. Steven Seagal.
Okay.
I mean, I just since we're there, I've never been a Seagal guy. I know some people are. I don't get it. He just sucks. Not just as a person, as a star. Why did that happen? My favorite Steven Seagal movie is Executive Decision, where he fucking dies, and it has to be the nerdy Kurt Russell saving the day. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
tells you everything about that. Chris Barreras also said, "Saw in the air slow burn thriller, hits on every level. Aaron Pierre, good fucking lord, built like a brick shit house. He absolutely crushes every facet of the role. He's commanding, brutal, and confident. A star-making performance. God tier, one of the best of the year. 5 out of 5. Dahlia, uh, at I don't know how to pronounce your handle, Dahlia. I apologize. But Dahlia, Chancellor Dahlia said, loved it. It was a pleasant surprise for me because Saulnier's work never resonated with me. So I approached it with a degree of skepticism, but I ended up loving it. And yeah, this seems like to be one of the better received movies of the year. And honestly, it's always just cool when everyone's kind of in agreement. Like, yeah, this is awesome. How
I have a
awesome was that?
question. Do you think this would have played even better if it was a theatrical release?
Yes.
Okay, I mean, obviously
Yeah.
we all love movies. I get that. I'm just wondering, just like in general.
No.
Uh,
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. I didn't mean to be dismissive. I mean, like, yeah, like
okay.
specifically this movie. Yes,
Think
absolutely.
we can get Big Bad to play it? Would it
Hey, you
fit?
tweet at
Would
them.
it?
Yeah.
Tweet,
See what happens.
Gina and I got to meet him. So, guys, Patrick especially play this shit next year.
I'll be
Although,
biased and say I would prefer this to Six Underground, but
oh
that's just
yeah,
me.
my
Oh.
That's just me.
my pitch was Six Underground. If that plays next year, I'm taking full credit and I'm not going to shut up about it. But if this plays, Mac gets all the credit. So
Thank you.
yeah, and this is a better movie than Six Underground. I love Six Underground. I love my Bayham, but yes, this is a great film. Um, it might be the best film ever produced by Netflix, frankly.
The Night Comes
Not
for Us
picked
is
up
still
by
there.
them. Wait, which one?
The Night Comes for Us is still there.
They
You
picked it
gotta.
up though. They didn't
Oh, they
produce
did.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they picked it up. Yeah.
What
Um,
about They Clone Tyrone?
I think they picked that one up too. I'm not 100%
Hmm.
sure. That's a good movie though.
That's so
It's a
John
really good
Boyega,
movie. Yeah,
fan
Boyega.
fucking
Mhm.
tastic.
hmm
Um,
Tiana Paris and Jamie Foxx also terrific in that movie. Yeah, it's like because to me, I think the best thing they have there on their streamer is The Other Side of the Wind, the lost and now found Orson Welles movie. I think that's
mhm.
one of the best movies ever made. And it's was made. It was finished without him, obviously.
Yeah,
Uh, but again, that's something they picked up. Orson Welles obviously didn't direct that for Netflix, so
not
um,
yet.
not yet. Yeah. Oh, don't say that. Don't say
AI
that.
or Walls or something.
Oh no. You cannot harness that energy in a computer. Like that's just that's humanity. That'll make the AI kill itself. That has to impersonate
Just
Orson
talk
Welles.
so much shit that it killed itself.
Yeah. All right. I guess we're winding down. Last thoughts. Rebel Ridge. Max, go.
Who wins in a fight, Terry Richard or Jack Reacher?
You know what? We don't pit kings against kings here. I
Because they're
think,
not gonna fight. They're gonna fucking team up.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Now, in classic comic book crossover throwdown, they do have to have an initial fight though. And I think, fuck, I do think Reacher wins, but there's also more Reacher than Rebel Ridge. So I don't, if there was more, if there was Rebel Ridge 2, 3, 4, 5, and I could see like more of these adventures with Aaron Pierre, then then maybe we can have a conversation. But I think it's Jack Reacher for right now.
Great movie. Jokes aside, fantastic movie. If it's not in my top three, it's in my very much my top five. Hell, it might be my number one. My top three films right now, they're kind of a mess because it's always alternating between I Saw the TV Glow and Love Lies Bleeding.
Mm,
But
good choices.
this might take the top spot, and it kind of makes me feel bad because I'm just like, with my list in particular, it's very like queer and women heavy, and I'm actually really happy and proud of that. But also, it's like it's a Netflix film. No,
Mhm.
um,
Hey,
but
look,
yeah, no, it's up there.
look. I'm not gonna say anything. But Jeremy Saulnier is a very good filmmaker, and I wish these movies could play in theaters more often. Gene,
Yeah.
final thoughts.
No, yeah, I would piggyback off of that. Yeah, I'd love to see this in the theater, but for the kind of viewing experience, seeing this like, with my family was yeah, it was nice. Yeah, it played really well for those three people. So yeah.
Yeah, show it to your friends, show it to the whole family.
Honestly, it's a great cookout movie.
Hmm.
Maybe not great, but like it's a at my house, if 4th of July, if this was put on, I could see my auntie sitting there with a plate full of ribs and be like, just sucking the meat off the bone, like, get his ass. Oh, he said, like, just fucking, yeah, I could see that, but
Okay,
maybe that's
okay.
just my household.
No. Okay, so like only because when I say like cookout or barbecues and stuff like that, I think of like something on in the background while everyone's kind of like talking and gathering. Like, sit down and watching after a cookout. Okay, yes, absolutely. With any group of people, I think this movie's gonna fucking just shred.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's such a great crowd pleaser. It's such a great movie.
Mhm.
Definitely in my top three. I made the joke the other day. I was like, oh, it's in my top five, and it's not five. It's not four. Might not even be three. Uh, just where I have it right now. I'm not gonna say the order, but my top five of the year is I Saw the TV Glow, Rebel Ridge, Furiosa, First Omen, and Bad Boys Ride or Die. So, and I'd put it
Sure.
above Bad Boys Ride or Die. But on that note, that's
No
Rebel Ridge.
controversy.
Wait, say that again?
No controversy. Like,
No,
that's not me. Like, no, that seems fine.
no. I gave myself a little controversy. That's controversy in words for me that I put over Bad Boys, but that's all right. Oh, Aaron Pierre could be the third bad boy.
There you
No,
go.
Yeah.
actually, that's Reggie. I apologize. I didn't mean to
Yeah.
besmirch him. My bad. He could be he could be Reggie's best friend, who's also awesome and in the military.
Let's cut to the chase. He's British. You know what everybody wants him as. James
Oh,
Bond.
yeah, I was like, what the fuck? No, you know why? Because this is why my brain's rotten. Because I was like, I don't want him caught up in superhero stuff, but if they're insistent on making a Batman fit into James Gunn's universe instead of Matt Reeves's universe, then
I saw someone say he'd make a great Batman Beyond.
Hmm.
oh, Terry McGinnis.
Yeah.
I always see Terry McGinnis as a little younger, but if they aged him up, like yeah, totally, I would see that for sure.
Yeah.
But that's we got to do a Batman Beyond discussion someday because I gotta fucking Gene and I have talked about Batman Beyond so fucking much. We gotta do that eventually. Yeah, let's just wrap up then. I don't have anything to plug, but the retrospective is still going. Stay tuned. This is coming out Monday the 9th. So
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
September 11th will be the next episode of the retrospective. That's unrelated.
Yeah, it's
It's
appropriate.
yeah, sure.
Yeah. Max, anything you want to plug? You got some stuff going
Uh
on.
yeah, the A4E Twitch channel. You and I streamed on Friday, Alien Isolation. Finally hit the point where the alien's gone for the moment, so it's just me dealing with working Joes. Whenever we can do that again, you just let me know. But that's up there. I streamed a little bit of Warhammer after you were done, and then I also did Alan Wake 2 earlier today. So I'm gonna try and keep that consistent, just to at least finish Alan Wake, and then any community stuff like playing Warhammer or Helldivers, I'll try and coordinate as well. A4E, I've been talking to Vice on the side, so we're hopeful to do maybe a war retrospective with him this week. We got to see about guests and everything, but I'm hoping for that. But I'm fairly certain we're going to do an episode next week, because it'll have been 2 weeks since the official last episode. And I think we'll have some stuff to talk about, Rebel Ridge and maybe some more, but we'll see. On that note, you can find me on Twitter under ODST Spartan, and also with A4E, running the A4E Twitter account, and our Discord as well, Action for Everyone.
All right, and Gene.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm just gonna be taking a little bit of a break for the podcast. Yeah, I'll be back in October, so I won't gone forever. But yeah, it's just kind of been really busy lately, just making like a short film. And yeah, me and Diego have been doing the script together, so it's just kind of like just been a lot lately. So I think yeah, it'd just be good for myself to just take some time off. It's not going to be forever, but yeah, come back more rested and recharged. So that'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, hold the fuck on. You're not like making a short film. You are making a short
Hmm.
film,
Yeah.
and you're making it with friends of the show. And
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see it. I'm only swinging down for like a day. You don't really need me for this one, but I'm excited to see
Yeah.
what you got cooking up too.
Thanks,
And
man.
yeah, that's gonna be exciting to share with everyone eventually.
It will. Yeah, it will.
Yeah. So happy birthday, Gene. I
Happy
hope your
birthday,
Thanks.
your
man.
weekend continues to be great and exciting. Love the banner for the people watching on YouTube. Love the banana shirt. Obviously,
Hmm.
mine's still in a glass case in my closet, so it's
Yeah.
just
Break an
retired for right now.
emergency.
Yeah, yeah, breaking case emergency. If I ever need that upswing of confidence, I'll have your banana shirt to remind me. But all right, on that note, everyone, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. If you didn't like this episode, go fuck yourself. Like and subscribe anyways, because you might find something you do like. So take care. Thanks again. We have been professionally unprofessional.